Sự sau đây con đã biết ngày nay được vừa vào phòng hai nên topic thì đã nói នៅក្នុងនេះគឺយើងនិយាយអំពីមេតិគុណដែលនិយាយអំពី behavioral approach to the study of the politics នៅក្នុងនេះយើងនិយាយអំពីពាក្យមួយចំនួនដែលទាក់ទងនៅក្នុងមេរៀននេះដូចជាបងបានសិក្សារួចហើយនៅ international introduction to political science. So approach it means that the way or the measure to do something. For example, we need a whole new approach to the job. And the second word, conception. Conception is something or refer to the action of conceiving a child or of a child being conceived. Pioneer means develop or be the first to use or apply a new method, the way of knowledge or activity. Behaviorism is theory that human and animal behavior can be explained in the term of conditioning without appeal, thought, or feeling, and that the psychological disorder the best treated by the altering behavior pattern. So this unit examines the behavioral approach to the study of the political science. Behaviorism was developed by American political scientists as alternative to the traditional approach in the 1940 and 1950. The approach concentrates on the careful observation of individual behavior in the political process and less on the state, the political institution. The objective of the behavioral approach is to make the study politics more. So at the end of the unit, you should be able to explain the feature of political science in the behavioral period, discuss the factor we contributed to the emerge of the behavioral approach, explain the main feature of behavioral approach, and discuss criticism of the behavioral approach. So we are going to talk about the feature of political science in the pre-behavioral period. The method of studying political science before the World War II was likely unscientific and likely descriptive. According to the Truman, political science as a discipline before behavioralism was characterized by six features, and one, a lack of concern; two, the absence of an implicit conception of political change and development; was blindly optimistic and unreflectively reformist. The the almost total neglect of theory in any meaningful sense of term. The consequent enthusiasm for a conception of the science that really went beyond raw empiricism. A strongly parallel preoccupation with the American that stunned the development of an effective comparative method and the establishment of the continuity commitment to concrete description according to the true one. So criticism of behaviorism approach. Major critics of approach including William Yale, Elot, Craven, Luther Gulick, Wallace Shepard, John Hart, John Mark, Jefferson, and Charles Beer Gallup. The main contention of the critics of behavioral approach were the political science is not more it will likely to become a science in any realistic sense of term. And the last thing we talk is scientific objectivity is almost universal. Skepticism among anti-behavioralists that is attainable considerable doubt that the inevitably desirable. So we talk in Unit 4. At the end, we can say we have tried to look at the feature of the behavioral approach to the study of politics and the factor that led to the match of the behavioral approach. The basic tenets of the behavioralism is and its weakness and have also been examined. So we have talked this unit wrong. So we can summarize that the period of 1945 to 1965 was a period of transformation of political science. The period witnessed a revolutionary change in political science methodology. The University of Chicago pioneered a new method of studying politics, behavioral approach which challenged the historical and institutional approaches in the political science. The main focus of behavioralism is to make that the study of political science scientific, while behavioralism have been active and applied in the research by many scholars. There are a number of the scholars without the usefulness of behavioralism. In Unit 5, we are talking about the nature, purpose, and function of the modern state. So, before we start this unit, we are talking key term in the political science. Characteristic, it means a feature or quality belonging typically to a person, place, or thing and serving to identify it. Differentiate means recognize or certain what make someone or something different. Exercise power, it means my, like we can say, recognize so political science is the study of life, its own organized community, and the organized community is the state. According to Harold last year, 1967, the study of politics concerned itself with the lives of a man, lives of men in relation to organized state. What this means is that the study of politics is likely the study of the state and other activity that related to winning of power and exercising such a power in a given state. So this unit, we have the objective at the end of the unit. You should be able to explain what the state is, its origin, its characteristics, and functions. Students should also be able to differentiate between the state and society and state definition of the state. There is no clear definition of the state. However, some radical writers like Marx and Engel argue that the state is essentially an expression of class relationship generated by particular mode of production and unambiguously involved in the class struggle on the side of the dominant economic class. The Mark and Engel 1976 wrote that in capitalist society, the executive of the modern state is but a committee for managing the common affair of the whole bourgeoisie. Some regard the state as the organization that transcends class stand for the whole community. Other definitions have emphasized the political authority, the monopoly of the folk through the government and political allegiance of the citizen to the state. Some have regarded the state as moral and good society where justice and the promotion of the general welfare of the people are established. Broadly speaking, the state is political form of society. What we call a state is the community of being organized for preserving and creating order and general well-being of its members. The idea that the ruler king was God agent on earth legitimized the king power and made it both unquestionable and unsellable. Third, to challenge the king was to challenge the divine will, God authority. Because of this, later king, queen could claim descent from the first king divinely appointed. The divine rights of king idea is long and living doctrine in politics. Today we have the early king to usher tribal autonomy and allow many tyrants to digest the action as an expression of God will. By contrast, the divine right theory helped to stabilize the political and process and preserve the violent and revolutionary activity by making the king and himself divine. Like Mackenzie, it means that the king is the one who cannot touch, the one who cannot question. It means that he was appointed by God. The dairy divine of the king is the power doctrine as it has been demonstrated by its endurance to death. For example, until 1917, the divine rights of king operated in Russia by the Romanov dynasty. On 1974, Imperial Chelsea was still claiming the divine right to rule over people of the HUP. So the folk theory, mind make right, the doctrine of mind make right, and a simply doctrine for legitimizing state power or power between individual or group. This is an appeal to folk or battlefield where the witness supplies. What is theory among to that ruler who know how to get power and how to keep it are the effect and legitimize rule. Social contract theory. The alternative view of the origin of the state and the principle that legitimize power are found in the social contract theory. The social contract theory is premised upon the idea that the state is human creation by men and of agreement. The social contract agreed on by individual and a given society. Thomas Hobbes, who was the first of the social contract theories, who died, carried to the existence of the state. Life was solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short, because there was no organized authority to preside over the affair of men. In fact, life was free for all five, and every man was for himself and God for all. The evolutionary natural theory of the state, according to the evolutionary theorists, the state is the best understood as an evolving organism that developed naturally according to some inherent dynamic of growth. Aristotle in the 4th BC had argued that the state developed from the evolved interests and needs of the individual. In contrast to social contract and folk theory, the revolutionary theory believed the individual and need interests have been possibly made by the family and the clan, tribe, and finally by the complete community of social existence that is expressed by the state. The guiding principle of the growth of the state has been self-sufficiency, not self-interest, and the development of the ever more elaborating ancient and essential to satisfy mankind unique and most distinguished characteristic. Primary characteristics of the state, the essential element of the modern state are people, territory, government, and sovereignty. What is the nature of state? ចឹងសូមបងប្អូនមើលថាជាតិដ៏សំខាន់នៃរដ្ឋទំនើបមួយគឺត្រូវមាន people នេះគឺសំដៅទៅលើ population បានន័យថាចំនួនប្រជាជនសរុបគឺយើងមានបូរណភាពទឹកដីបានន័យថាដែនដីសំខាន់ណាស់រដ្ឋមួយបើគ្មានដីគ្មានទំហំដីគឺមិនអាចដីចេញជារដ្ឋទំនើបបានទេមានបូរណភាពទឹកដីហើយគឺមានរាជរដ្ឋាភិបាលដែលដឹកនាំដោយស្ដេចដឹកនាំដោយជានាយកទឹកដីដឹកនាំដោយរដ្ឋមន្ត្រីវាអាស្រ័យទៅលើគោលនយោបាយនៃរដ្ឋនីមួយៗដែលយើងនឹងសិក្សាបន្តទៀតដោយតាមបាញ់មិញដែលយើងបាននិយាយរួចហើយថារដ្ឋាភិបាលដំបូងឡើយរដ្ឋដំបូងឡើយគឺច្រើនតែដឹកនាំដោយស្ដេចហើយស្ដេចនេះគឺជាប្រមុខរដ្ឋជាស្ថាប័នមួយយើងដឹងហើយប្រមាណសាស្ត្រស្ថាប័នមួយដែលមិនអាចមកបានទេហើយចុងក្រោយគឺរដ្ឋទំនើបត្រូវមានជាតិជាជាតិទី4គឺអធិបតេយ្យភាពមានន័យថាយើងជារដ្ឋដែលមិនមានមុខមានមាត់ស្មើគ្នាមិនត្រូវបានគេរំលោភបំពានបាទអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំសរុបមកវិញថាមានប្រជាជនសរុបមានបូរណភាពទឹកដីមានរាជរដ្ឋាភិបាលហើយមានអធិបតេយ្យភាពរបស់រដ្ឋមួយចឹងដូចដែលខ្ញុំបាននិយាយអំបញ្ញមិញហើយថាធាតុទាំង4នេះគឺជារឿងមួយចាំបាច់ណាស់ជាធាតុដែលសម្បត្តិណាស់សម្រាប់រដ្ឋទំនើបអញ្ចឹងនៅពេលដែលយើងនិយាយជា people គឺយើងសំដៅទៅ population ស្អីទៅ population មានន័យថា a body of people ខាងណា territory នេះគឺ living in the defined space អញ្ចឹងយើងមើលរដ្ឋនីមួយៗបានន័យថាមានដែនដីគ្រប់គ្រងណាបន្តទៀតយើងនឹងនិយាយពីអធិបតេយ្យភាព sovereignty នេះមានន័យថាម៉េច with the power to make and enforce law without having to check with any higher authority ន័យថាយើងមានរដ្ឋមានអធិបតេយ្យភាពគ្រប់គ្រាន់អត់មាននរណាមកខំណាមាននរណាមករកមានអធិបតេយ្យភាពវាបានទេយ៉ាងជារដ្ឋឯករាជ្យតែជារដ្ឋឯករាជ្យមានអធិបតេយ្យភាពពេញលេញចំណែកឯរាជរដ្ឋាភិបាលយើងមើលថាស្អីដែលបង្កើតទៅជារាជរដ្ឋាភិបាលនេះគឺសំដៅទៅលើអង្គការមួយដើម្បីគ្រប់គ្រងដឹកនាំរដ្ឋណាព្រោះយើងមានតែចំនួនប្រជាជនយើងមានតែអធិបតេយ្យភាពយើងមានតែបូរណភាពទឹកដីហើយគ្មានរាជរដ្ឋាភិបាលគឺអាចមានស្ថាប័នមួយដែលដឹកនាំរដ្ឋភាពរីកចម្រើនបានទេអញ្ចឹងយើងនិយាយត្រឡប់មកវិញថា state and society សម្រាប់ការគោលបំណងដែលយើងវិភាគជាក់លាក់យើងត្រូវតែស្គាល់ស្អីទៅដែលជារដ្ឋដែលបានមកពី from society មានន័យថា society គឺវាធំជាងរដ្ឋគឺនិយាយថាសង្គមឬក៏សង្គមមនុស្សយើងអត់អាចនិយាយថារដ្ឋមនុស្សបានទេមានន័យថារដ្ឋគឺជាដែនដីមួយនៅក្នុងសង្គមឥឡូវយើងនិយាយថាសង្គមទីដែលយើងនិយាយថា state in the United States or in American society យើងអត់និយាយថា American state ទេពីព្រោះនៅក្នុង state នីមួយៗវាមាន American វាមាន black វាមាន white វាមាន Asian ប៉ុន្តែនៅក្នុង society នេះគេហៅតែ American ទាំងអស់នោះគឺវារួមណា American society means there are so many states Chẳng dừng như bị ní cứ chỉ phiết đại lệ khúc lại ní chăm bạch để dừng ban để gặp mặt để dừng ban sẵn sàng rốt việc cao miên được nông sản phẩm để cái gì đó the state exists within society but is not even form of society the state exists và nên rốt cao miên được nông sản phẩm but is not even the form of society ấy lấy những gì bị phiếp khúc lại ní rốt rốt cứ việc cao nó còn toàn bị chỉ vì chỉ tạm tổng nát đi rốt vì mình from time về the scope state is limited state mean bên này tham mean là bộ là hiệp thực tế ở đây mean này bắt which những cái mấy mình chụp tiêu toát state is political organization rốt cứ chia sự tham ăn nhiều bài mù state has the power to enforce the law mean này là rốtគឺមានអនុភាពកម្លាំងអំណាចដើម្បីអនុវត្តច្បាប់ឥឡូវយើងនិយាយពីសង្គមមកន័យថាវា superior to the state វាធំជាង state ណាឥឡូវយើងនិយាយពីទំហំវិសាលភាពនៃសង្គមគឺវាធំ is much wider សង្គមគឺមិនមាន territory ជាក់លាក់ទេណាបាទ Manada no which man which and no feature. Society is a social organization. Manada which is a have fun the grow. Next you have a social organization. Society has no power to enforce the law. Dương dịch về sông cung, thì họ là dương dịch về sông cung một nút, dương ở đây dịch ra luôn một ghê. Và society nó cứ ẩn biến power bằng mấy trăm ống bảy và số tiền cùng một lúc giống như miền Bắc sẽ tiếp có liên like này rồi viên state hay là nation bởi như việc state và society thì lấy những gì dễ thì Bắc hay nó chết Bắc để nó chết thì từ tới parabol này biết thằng phi ní cứ tay dễ tàu là ai lạc đồ kỳ ban còn nói là mấy việc cho bạn lỗ dương miền việc học lại cái đi để việc thằng phi ní là dương bàn này dương thời để đăng the term may or may not be synonym mà đây tập việc thằng ní hay là chỉ hướng của mình ai miền đấy smart này đi the word nation cứ miền này chạy lại phi như này là muối sông tao từ nước không có tiếp ví dụ mà thì họ cứ nấu nấu step cứ sầm nấu từ lớn bị triệt hai chi miền đây sầm nấu từ lớn ethnological unit chia sầm nấu từ lớn triệt sát mai chủ chất bán triệt sát chẳng như lên một mớ ở what hơi nắng nation state hay nắng chỉ triệt state cứ chiaจะทำมันมุยแต่ไอเกิดฮิตในมีนไตนกำนัดนะมีนกลุ่มไตนบุกษาฉบับโลหะในยังมือđượcนองรูปเพียบนี้จำนายไอไปชี้ชี้วิ่งในทาง is large population ในทาง nation is a large population แต่เลยใจคนเล็กในหัวนี้วิสาลูกนี้ hoặc từng điểm hoặc quỷ điឬcó hoặc sạch ở ngay thì gì bị nấy chiếu nó không mấy điên ấy dương ban control vì không phải chiết vì tua điện đi vì cổของน้องในรถdương ban bị nứt từ lơ từ đây xemนี้ในรถเตียงรถร้านhayรถnướcรถbị muốn hay nữa không phải phải dương banผลยุลអំពីលក្ខណៈឬក៏សញ្ញាណផ្សេងគ្នានៃរដ្ឋហើយនឹងច្បាប់ដែលបានកំណត់នៅក្នុងអំណាចនៃរដ្ឋដែលស្ថិតក្នុងដែលនិយាយអំពីក្នុងនយោបាយជាលក្ខណៈអន្ត là triệt nếu bạn cũng nhớ vì tiếp tục lại kia rồi vì một what cũng hai nấng chi triệt sau đó ởវិញដូចដែលបងប្អូនបានឆ្លងកាត់ខ្លះមកហើយថាប្រសិនបើអ្នកយល់នៅមេរៀននេះអ្នកអាចមានលទ្ធភាពពន្យល់ក្នុងពេលនេះនៅអ្វីដែលយើងហៅថារដ្ឋយើងអាចយល់នៅទ្រឹស្ដីយើងអាចពន្យល់នៅ function ឬក៏យើងអាចពន្យល់នៅអត្ថន័យនៃ state ឬក៏ទំនាយនៃវត្តហើយនឹងភាពខុសប្លែកគ្នារវាងរដ្ឋហើយនឹងប្រជាជាតិជាការសម្រាប់មួយដែរអញ្ចឹងនៅក្នុងមេរៀនចំពោះទី1នេះហើយដែលយើងនិយាយពីមេរៀនទី4និងទី5គឺយើងបញ្ចប់ទៅប៉ុណ្ណេះបាទសូមអរគុណហើយយើងនឹងសិក្សាបន្តទៀតដែលនៅក្នុងសេចក្តីផ្ដើមទៅនឹងវិទ្យាសាស្ត្រនយោបាយនៅក្នុងចំពោះទី2ហើយនិងចំពោះទី3បន្តទៀតបាទសូមអរគុណបាទសូមជម្រាបលាបាទ